The town of Evermere was the kind of place where time seemed to move at its own rhythm, where the old clock tower rang in a slow, melodic chime, and where love stories never truly ended, but rather wove themselves into the very fabric of existence. In this quaint town, nestled between rolling hills and Silver River, lived Eleanor Whitmore, a woman whose heart had always belonged to another time. Eleanor had inherited her grandmother's antique shop, a place brimming with relics of forgotten eras. Ornate watches that no longer ticked, lockets with faded photographs, letters yellowed with age. She spent her days restoring these treasures, tracing the fingerprints of those who had loved before, wondering about the stories left untold. But her favorite object in the shop was an old pocket watch, its cover etched with an intricate rose pattern, its hands frozen at precisely 11:11. "Why don't you sell that one?" her friend Daniel asked one evening as they closed up shop. He had been her closest confidant since childhood, the one constant in a life marked by change. She shook her head, running a thumb over the watch's smooth surface. "It's special. I don't know why, but I feel like it's waiting for something." Daniel chuckled, using her whimsical way of seeing the world. "Or someone," he mused. "Maybe it belonged to a great love story." She smiled at the thought, a love story timeless enough to pause time itself. One evening, as a storm rolled over Evermere, Eleanor found herself working late, sorting through a new shipment of antiques. The rain tapped against the windows like a quiet melody, and the scent of aged paper and polish would fill the shop. Just as she was about to lock up, the bells over the door chimed. A man stepped inside, shaking the rain from his coat. He had a presence that seemed both familiar and foreign, like a melody she had once known but had long forgotten. His eyes, a deep shade of stormy blue, settled on the pocket watch in her hands. "That watch," he murmured, stepping closer. "Where did you find it?" Eleanor hesitated, the air between them thick with something unspoken. "It's been here for as long as I can remember," she said. "Do you recognize it?" He exhaled softly, as if searching for the right words. "It belonged to my great-grandfather," he said. He always spoke of love that defied time itself, of a promise made beneath the stars. A chill ran down Eleanor's spine. She had always believed objects carried the echoes of the past, but this was something else entirely. "A promise?" she asked, intrigued. The man nodded. A promise that no matter what, their hearts would find each other again. That love, true love, would always find a way. Something inside Eleanor stirred. She had spent her life surrounded by relics of the past, but for the first time, she felt as if she were a part of one. The clock tower in the distance struck 11:11, and the watch in her hand, silent for decades, gave a single, quiet tick. She met his gaze, and in that moment, she knew some love stories were not just written in ink, but in the very essence of time itself. And perhaps, just perhaps, this was theirs.